And welcome to Central Georgia Focus. I'm your host, Fredrick Price. For decades, the Georgia Industrial Children's Home has been a place of healing for children suffering from neglect and emotional trauma. Today, we are learning how this Macon program is helping young men find brighter futures. So our guests today are Brenda Goolsby, the program director for the Georgia Industrial Children's Home, and Kim Rozicki, Director of Marketing for Twin Cedars Youth and Family Services. Thank you so much for being here, both of you all. So my first question is talking about the Georgia Industrial Children's Home. Tell us a little bit about that and who does this really serve?
Georgia Industrial Children's Home serve boys ages 11 to 17.
And so we were talking, it's kind of like an umbrella with the Twin Cedars Youth and Family Services, correct?
That's right. So Twin Cedars Youth and Family Services is a continuum of care located in 4 cities, Macon, Columbus, LaGrange, and Opelika, Alabama. We have 18 different programs, and Georgia Industrial Children's Home is one of our 3 residential programs. So we have 2 other residential homes in LaGrange and Columbus that serve girls and boys. So, but we're here today to talk about our Georgia Industrial Children's Home.
Sure. So tell me a little about what goes on inside in that program.
Well, so just to mention though, in addition to that, so Twin Cedars has the residential programs. We have our child advocacy programs. We have prevention programs, and then we have therapeutic foster care, which is also here in Macon. So, but Georgia Industrial is our residential facility here that was incorporated into Twin Cedars back in 2009. So, but it's been in this area for a very long time.
About is it a century, or how long has it been?
Yes, so back in 1899, Reverend Mumford was a concerned citizen who was concerned about the youth in this area who were orphans, homeless children, both girls and boys, and so he raised $2,500 to start the Georgia Industrial Children's Home. And so for many, many years, the home served girls and boys on our campus. And then as societal changes took over, you know, it changed purposes and began to serve only boys. But in 1949, Marvin Kemper became the executive director, and he served for 30 years as the executive director, which Brenda and I think is just amazing.
Oh, yeah.
That's a long time to be in that role with all those children. But what's cool about that is that his son and daughter, Larry Kemper and Betty Lotka, who were his children while he was the executive director, they lived on the campus of our Georgia Industrial Children's Home and grew up with many of the children who were living there as orphans. And those 2 individuals serve on our board still today as adults. And then Larry's son, King Kemper, is our board chair now. So this is the 3rd generation of Kempers who are serving Georgia Industrial Children's Home. So it's a really nice tie from the past to the present, and their commitment, you know, their family's commitment to our program.
74 years.
Yeah, 74 years.
74 years,
Kemper's
yeah.
being involved, so it's really cool. And then in 2009, as you know, as things happen, it was determined that it was in the best interest for Georgia Industrial to become a part of Twin Cedars, which was a bigger organization with, you know, diverse resources.
Okay.
So yeah, and here we are today.
Here we are today. A lot of history and a
yeah.
lot of legacy, to say the least.
Yes.
Kind of speak to the need of this program in our community today. Why is it something that is really important to have for children?
Well, the need is that children are often overlooked at times, especially the kids who are physically abused, sexually abused, who have traumas. And throughout the state of Georgia, you'll find that there is a huge need. But Central Georgia is very fortunate to have Georgia Industrial Children's Home because we address those needs, we address the trauma. We're there to provide a safe place for kids who don't have that.
Specifically, how are you all addressing those needs of children? You mentioned they are often overlooked.
Through individual therapy, family therapy, community support individual services, trauma focus services, cognitive behavioral therapy. Also within the milieu, we have the style of, it looks like a parent. We have a male, female in each one of the cottages who represent the mother-father figure. And so they learn how to develop their pro-social skills and social skills, also education-wise as well. We have an on-campus school, so we provide education as well.
From your observation, doing this as long as you have, what difference has this made in the children's lives that are in this program that really need this kind of help?
Well, the difference is that a lot of kids are able to go back to their families and move forward, graduate from high school, find jobs, those kinds of things. So
okay,
it's really helpful.
It sounds like it is helpful in more ways than one. Can we talk about Twin Cedars kind of being a statewide agency? It's really advocacy, therapeutic, foster care, and preventative care.
Yes, so so when we speak about advocacy, those are our child advocacy centers that represent children in court who are child victims. Those that are in foster care are CASA programs, which are court-appointed special advocates. Then our prevention programs are programs that work with children who perhaps are in need of a safe space or place children that have become, pregnant at an early age, that are in school or something, that need additional resources, or those that are, heaven forbid, involved with drugs or alcohol. It's a prevention type program to keep them out of those types of things. So across the agency, we're working with a lot of different things, but that's why we say it's a continuum of care, because we are taking care of children wherever they are and with whatever their